the headlines. The conference to Handover military administration, party work and political work of the military headquarters of Hậu Giang and Sóc Trăng provinces to the military headquarters of Cần Thơ City. More than 1,400 artificial hip replacement operations have been conducted by Cần Thơ Central General Hospital over recent time. Hello, it's good to see you back here in this edition of Cần Thơ News and Top News today. On June 21st morning in Cần Thơ City, Lieutenant General Nguyễn Giác, also Commander of the Military Zone 9, and Lieutenant General Hồ Văn Thái, Political Commissar of Military Zone 9, co-chaired the conference to hand over military administration, party work, and political work of the military headquarters of Hậu Giang and Sóc Trăng provinces to the military headquarters of Cần Thơ City. At a conference, the handover minutes of the military headquarters of Hậu Giang and Sóc Trăng provinces were approved. Specifically, the military command of Cần Thơ City received the handover from the military commands of Hậu Giang and Sóc Trăng provinces the following contents: organizational structure of the party, government and mass organizations, combat readiness work, training, rescue, force building work, materials and public assets by group and etc., defense land, barracks, aspects of party work and political work. Speaking at a conference, Lieutenant General Nguyễn Giác requested agencies and units of the City Military Command to organize delegations to inspect and review the handover of positions, facilities, public assets, weapons, equipment, barracks to ensure strict compliance with regulations. On June 21st, the Party Committee of the Office of the People's Committee of Cần Thơ City held the Party Congress for 2025-2030 term. During 2020-2025 term, the Party Committee of the Office of the People's Committee of Cần Thơ City has well-directed the implementation of the General Advisory Function, helping the City People's Committee to develop and implement programs and work plans of the City People's Committee, and at the same time strictly implementing resolutions and directives on administrative reform, contributing to meeting the requirements of innovation in digital transformation work. As a result, the Party Committee of the Office has achieved many set targets such as advising on timely document processing, reaching 97% or more, applying information technology in handling office work, and implementing digital signatures for 100% of issued documents. The Congress determined the goal of continuing to innovate and improve the overall quality of operations, striving to complete the targets set out in the resolution of the Party Committee for 2025-2030 term. On June 21st, the Party Committee of the Office of Cần Thơ City Party Committee organized the Party Congress for 2025-2030 term. During 2020-2025 term, the Party Committee maintained its role as the political nucleus, comprehensively and directly leading all aspects of the agency's work. In the next term, the Party Committee strives to have 100% of party members, cadres, and civil servants fully study and grasp the party's guidelines and resolutions and the state's policies and laws. 100% of subordinated party sales and inspection committees develop and organize the implementation of inspection and supervision programs and plans for the entire term. The Party Committee of Cần Thơ Water Supply Trust Stock Company No. 2 held the 4th Congress for 2025-2030 term. During the last term, the Party Committee of the Committee focused on leading and directing the implementation of the resolution and achieving many positive results. The Party Committee led and directed the Committee to effectively perform production and business tasks, ensuring an annual production output of over 16.6 million cubic meters of water, focusing on promoting the application of science and technology, digital transformation in management and production, focusing on implementing solutions to prevent water loss. The unit always ensures safe and continuous water supply for customers. Service quality is increasingly improved. Also on June 21st, the Party Committee of Hòa Hảo, Medicine General Hospital successfully organized the second Congress 2025-2030 term. During the last time, the party committee of the hospital led the implementation of 10 out of 10 resolution targets. It has been proactive and flexible in directing activities to both prevent and combat the COVID-19 pandemic and ensure medical examination and treatment, as well as participate in many social security activities in provinces and cities and neighboring Cambodia. The orientation in the new term of 2025-2030 focuses on well-doing in political and ideological education, improving the lives, quality of staff, quality of examination and treatment, style and spirit of service in the direction of a smart electronic hospital, modern management, and expanding the scope of professional activities serving medical examination and treatment. Over the past 5 years, Cần Thơ Central General Hospital has performed artificial hip replacements for more than 1,400 cases. This is a common treatment method today. However, the surgery is complicated and the cost is not cheap, but if the patient is not treated, it can lead to disability. On average, every day, Cần Thơ Central General Hospital receives hundreds of cases of black pain for examination. In the first 4 months of 2025 alone, the hospital received outpatient examinations and inpatient treatment for about 10,000 patients, of which 1,495 were treated as inpatients and 155 were hip replacement surgeries. Hip osteoarthritis is a disease that often occurs in the elderly but is now gradually becoming younger in middle age.
Ladies and gentlemen, Côn Sơn, Bùi Hưu Nghĩa War, Bình Thị District, Cần Thơ City is one of the most attractive destinations for those who love the rustic charm of the Mekong Delta, a spot that is drawing increasing attention from tourists in the Côn Sơn Ancient House, a place that preserves the traditional cultural values of the land and its people.
The Côn Sơn Ancient House, with its traditional 3-compartment two-wing architecture nestled in a lush fruit garden, offers a peaceful and intimate atmosphere. Visitors can admire familiar household items from the daily life of Vietnamese people in the past, evoking nostalgic memories of a time long gone. It feels like I'm going back to my childhood. The setting makes me feel relaxed and at peace. Even the meal reminds me of the dishes my parents used to cook back in the countryside. It feels so warm and comforting. I think this is a great place for tourism, especially for those who want to relive their childhood or revisit the old days. With the sounds of cicadas and all the old objects that are both ancient and familiar, just looking at the altar, all of bone brings tears to my eyes. I believe this should be expanded so that people can preserve and maintain these beautiful traditional values, not only for myself, but for the younger generations who might long for the past they never knew. Preserving is a wonderful thing. Visitors are always very fond of this house. It's the only ancient house in Côn Sơn. After touring the house, guests are served dishes that used to be prepared for ancestral death anniversaries in the countryside, commonly preferred to age memorial feasts on the island. The food is simple, rustic, and carries the authentic flavor of the Mekong Delta. For tourists, this is an exciting and novel experience that they truly enjoy. One particularly engaging experience at Côn Sơn Ancient House is participating in traditional death anniversary feast, featuring local rustic dishes typical of riverine life, the sense of community, daily life, and traditional customs of island residents are vividly recreated through stories shared around the dining table. This is a unique feature of our river region. It reflects the traditions passed down from our ancestors, a distinctive cultural identity that can be found elsewhere. At the same time, it helps preserve the heritage of our forebears, which is part of our national identity. Visitor members are relatively stable. In the past, most came on weekends, but now, especially with summer approaching, the number of visitors is growing steadily, often recommending these parents to their friends and relatives. Cultural heritage cuisine, and especially the human element, are vital resources for developing tourism. Conversely, tourism is one of the most effective ways to preserve, promote, and spread these values. Through this signature, a distinctive identity and diversity can be created for local cultural tourism products.
That's it for this edition of Continuous. If you want to watch again in this bulletin, please visit our website, kênh TV.vn. And now thanks for being with us. Goodbye and see you next time.